So now we have the foundational elements in place. First we have lean, with the lean thinking ideas, respect for people, flow, and continuous improvement. Second, we have the Agile Manifesto saying individuals and interactions are more important than processes and tools, working software or product is more important than comprehensive documentation, and customer collaboration is more important than contract negotiation, so that you can respond to change rather than follow the plan. If you combine these, the world starts to look a little bit different. However, in the 2080s and forward, till this very moment, we saw Scrum teams pop up everywhere and Agile teams starting all kinds of places. As a result, Scrum and Agile became kind of mainstream. Currently, we see companies that have 20, 40, 100, up to hundreds of Scrum teams working in parallel at the same time. Because of that, the question now came, how do you organize that? Because these autonomous little teams trying to move their way around and get the highest value to the customer is great, but for bigger companies with bigger strategies and bigger portfolios, it's a challenge to coordinate all that and make it work. Now there has been different strategies on scaling, and there are different methods such as SAFe, the Scaled Agile Framework by Dean Leffingwell, Scrum of Scrums, Enterprise Scrum, Nexus, Jeff Sutherland, Ken Schwaber, LESS by Bas Vodda and Craig Larman. These are all methods that make you think on how to organize and how to synchronize scaling Agile. There are a couple of foundational truths that I'd like to share, and the other things are, well, it's your choice. And it's basically a company's choice and an organizational choice to say, okay, I'm going more with SAFe or Nexus or LESS. That's a preference that anyone should make by themselves based on their changed context. I have a personal preference, but I'm not going to share that right now, because for you it's the most effective to figure out your own idea of what it means for you and your environment. The first foundational truth that if you have multiple teams working on something, the first rule is synchronize them. If you have multiple Scrum teams running cycles or Agile teams running cycles, these cycles have to match. Monday is end of your cycle day or end of sprint day or check out what we have day. Whatever you want to call it, there is a synchronization question if you have multiple teams working together. Now the magic, of course, that then becomes, if you do this, you can start thinking about introducing integrated demonstrations of multiple teams producing one product, working product over comprehensive documentation at the bigger scale. Prove me not only that you have done your part of the increment as a team, but prove to me that it works as a whole. The system works. So now the synchronization allows you to demonstrate the result of multiple teams at the same time. This idea of synchronization, it's not new. This is lean from old days in the 1970s again. Synchronizing the work and creating cadence, like a heartbeat, every 2 weeks. We'll integrate your stuff and show it as a whole. So now subsystems, multiple teams have to work together and are being pulled into integrating their stuff and showing their result at a higher level. Because of that, you have something wonderful. You have a system that consists of teams. You have a team of teams working together to produce a bigger integrated result. Now that cycle is something that you will see your VPs and CEOs are more interested in. They cannot join all the separate demonstrations of all the separate small teams, but this demonstration of multiple teams together, they can and they will join. They want to see that bigger result. They want to see the joint results of all these teams teaming up together. Thus you have installed a new feedback cycle on a far, far higher level. Now looking at bigger portfolios and strategies, the second fundamental thing you need to start thinking about is how to align the big system and the big portfolio with all these teams and their promises. So the promise proof cycle of a team during a couple of weeks is something you can work on a feature level for products very nicely. What you will typically see on top of that is an enterprise. A big company tries to move forward every couple of months and review its strategy, review its portfolio, its tactics. And I have seen that a very effective model for that is a 3-monthly checkup. Organize a 3-monthly big room planning session where you invite all the members of all the teams that are in the subsystem, so that may be 6 to 8 teams, all the management, a couple of stakeholders, some of the dependencies are jointly addressed and discussed. So you get all the people into the same room and you plan together co-located. you plan together roughly your tactics or your goals for the next 3 months. So this means you're tying your portfolio, your longer term goals, to the actual cadence of the Agile teams moving forward. And this has been done in different ways. But this is the foundational idea on portfolio management. And in front of these big room planning days, we have a funnel in which you need to figure out what things to do first. So your big chunks, your big projects need to be chopped into smaller chunks just in time for you to feed them into the 3 monthly cycle, saying, okay, this is the most important thing we have to do right now. It will change, but this is what we want from a strategy perspective right now, would like to do. And that feeds your teams with context, with understanding and commitment to making a goal for a couple of months happen, which leads them to be better, because now they understand it's not just one little battle in this whole war they're now looking at. So if you're looking at the strategy, they now become part of implementing and executing on the strategy, which makes them a little stronger, because now they understand what they're here for. So tying your portfolio management by creating a funnel where your big things get sliced into smaller things that just fit a number of teams, and then plan together in a couple of days, after which the teams are going to execute, giving the results back every 2 weeks. This is proven to be a wonderful way to do Agile at a larger scale, and that's the current state of Agile at scale.